going to welcome in Mark Trible of the Courier Post. You got him there? What's happening, Mark?
Good morning, Sully.
What's happening, boss?
I don't know, man. I woke up and it seems like at some point parts of me melted during the night all over, like a snowman who gets stuck inside. A little frigid last night, but we're back at it today.
Hey, Trible, keep your eye out for any of these high school kids that are good at rapping. Me and Josh and intern Tyler here were talking during the break. We need to get a hype video made up for the South Jersey Sports Report.
Yeah, man, I was a little worried when Josh called me today and it wasn't Cole. I even asked him, I'm like, where's Cole? So don't go up making these huge decisions without him. I mean, no offense to Josh, but, Cole's got to be a part of the decision-making process. So.
Who knew Cole was so popular? Everybody's asking about him today.
Him and the beard.
Cole's beard. But yeah, keep your eye out for a high school kid who can rap. We're trying to get a couple verses down this morning.
I'll find one.
Got to get a hype video going. We'll get you in there.
Okay, that's all I ask. A cameo.
You could do like that third verse, where that's like different than the main singer.
We'll negotiate. Let's try and get into all that. We'll negotiate. My people will talk to your people.
Sounds good, man. So as you were thawing out, what were your thoughts on Friday night football, first round of state playoffs?
Oh, man, we had a lot of wild stuff happen. There were some teams that many people, and I guess in some cases myself included, left for dead, who either really put a scare into their first-round opponent. I can think of Seneca and Timber Creek. That game, Seneca kind of hung with them back and forth there a little bit until it hit about the 30s, and Timber Creek went on to win by almost 30. Or there were teams that pulled massive upsets. I mean, you look at Highland, they have not met their expectations all season. That's a team we had in the top 15 at the beginning of the year based on what they were bringing back. And not only had they played poorly this season, but, I mean, they were shut out by Bishop Eustis last week. So what did they do? Well, they're 3-5. They get in South Jersey Group 4, and they win 41-0 on the road at Burlington Township, who was the 2 seed. You can't script this stuff, man. Hamilton goes down to Central. They're also 3-5, I believe, and they win 21-6. So, they won at Central. So I mean, there's just so much that goes on these first Friday nights. There's so many games, but that stuff stands out to me. The teams that you kind of chalk down, okay, they might lose this, they'll probably lose this. And Cinnaminson, Coach Mario Patrizi, may have done the job of the year. At least he's right there in consideration for it. They were 0-2 or 1-2, and next thing you know, they knock off Camden last night at Farnham Park fairly decidedly. I think it was 28-12. So, the craziness, now the dust settles, and these teams realize, okay, we pull an upset, but now we win one more game, and we're in the show.
Definitely, man. It's an exciting time of year for a lot of these teams. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, South Jersey Group 5 is the only public school bracket where all 4 top seeds are still alive.
That sounds right. Actually,
or maybe 3?
One is also, because 3 of the teams play today.
Right.
I think. Actually, is that right?
Yeah. Three of the Group 1 teams play today. Yep.
Yeah, and I saw. I was at a Group 1 game last night. I'll be at another one today, and I saw Gateway take down Woodstown 28-8, and today I'll be down to Salem to see them face Woodbury.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about Pleasantville being one of the feel-good stories of the past year and a half, 2 years, and Gateway right up there with the Greyhounds. I mean, this is a team that perennially hasn't been a contender, and now all of a sudden 7-1, they go out and win their first playoff game in school history. What was the reaction from the guys last night? That's got to be a huge moment for them.
Yeah, it was a huge moment, and what I was struck by is this team had an aura of expectation about it. They won the first game in school history, like you said, in postseason, and they just kind of expected to do it, I guess. Or maybe they were too frozen to celebrate because, everybody, once the game went off, it was like a gunshot went off. Everybody got in their cars and left. The kids ran in the locker room. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of partying. But the ones I spoke to acted like they kind of expected this year. And it's funny for us, you know, you get to the playoffs and it's like, oh, can they win that first game? But for them, they won 7 of 8 games this season, and they're the 3 seed. So to them, they just expect to win the game. And a player told me this was just like any other game, when in fact, ironically, this was not like any other game at Gateway High School. It's the first time.
Now, Mark, real quick, get sidetracked a little bit. Did you have to sacrifice the style for the warmth last night? How did you approach that?
I don't sacrifice style for anything. Let's get that off the top right there.
Put that on the record.
Yeah, man, I layer it up. You got to layer. The hat stays. You know, there's no beanies. There's no cheating, man.
Even with that bald dome of yours, no beanies?
None. Now, I'll wear them all the time when I'm not on the sidelines or at a game. But, you know, Friday night football or Saturday football, it's got to be the hat, man. Yeah, these kids are playing through. These kids are getting hit. You know, the ball's knocking their fingers every which way. Everything's made of glass and hurts. I think the least I could do is not wear a beanie, for goodness sakes. I mean, geez.
You calling me out?
I'm just saying, Sully. I mean, you know, I'm not going to sacrifice.
Sound like you're questioning my toughness right there.
Well, you know.
I'm a beanie guy. I'll go with the beanies.
I know this is talk radio, man. This is what talk radio is for, man. We got to stir the pot, maybe start a beef or something.
There you go. Oh man, yeah, it definitely sounded like you were calling me out there a little bit, and which is crazy because Christmas is coming up. That's a good way to get yourself off the list.
Well, then the flip side of that too is how long have we done this, and there's never been a beanie that I've received. So theoretically,
so you're harboring a little bit of ill will for lack of Glory Days gear. I see what's happening here.
Theoretically, I couldn't even put one on if I wanted to. Let's assume I don't have any other beanies. I certainly don't have one from you. So, you know, we gotta amend this, man.
Point taken.
This beef behind us.
Point taken. I gotta get some new beanies made up. Your top's on the list, buddy.
All right, that's all I need to hear.
Now, do you like the kind with the what do they call that thing on top?
I don't know, puffball.
The puff thing on. You one of those guys, or do you like the skull cap?
I'm a puffball man.
Nice.
You know, that's how I roll. Always have been. Just better fit.
I gotta think of what color scheme I want to do for the next winter hat order.
Well, you do it, and you know what? Don't ask me for advice because I don't want any of it to be a perceived slight at Glory Days or my man Sully, who's one of my favorites out there. So, you know, you go ahead and decide. I'll be cool with it.
Mark, looking ahead to next week, what's on your radar here for games to watch as we move into the second round? Obviously, there's a lot yet to go here today.
Well, I think Highland-Hamilton. You know, like I said, these two teams losing records. One of them's going to play for South Jersey Final. I'm pretty sure they both have losing records. So
yeah, Hamilton's 4-6 now.
Yeah, I mean that's a game where one of them's going to go, man.
They could be a state champion at 6-6.
Well, they could be a sectional champion.
Remember, yeah, sectional.
We don't have state champions.
Well, we call them state championships down here.
Well, you know. It's something.
You got to make that concession in South Jersey. We call it a state championship.
Well, by NJSIA Constitution rules, state champions are not allowed in football, Dave.
True.
No, but I think that game
in common usage.
Yeah. Somebody's going to win a championship. Hamilton or Highland will certainly play for one against either Shawnee or Morristown. And then, you know, I think you look at Cinnaminson is going to play at Haddonfield, which plays at Cherry Hill West this year. You know, Haddonfield, big win last night, upsetting Sterling. I saw them last week against Sterling, and they really got pummeled and took it to them this week. You know, the Haddons have been up and down all year. Seems maybe now they're finding their groove, and they're going to host Cinnaminson. Kind of the subplot here is Cinnaminson's coach, Mary Patrizzi, who I mentioned earlier, and should be a Coach of the Year candidate across South Jersey. His nephew Nick Patrizzi is the starting running back for Haddonfield.
Wow.
So that's cool. One of them is going to play for the championship. I'm interested, to find out what happens with Cedar Creek and Willingboro today, obviously down in your neck of the woods.
Yep.
The winner of that will play West Effort. You could have a Willingboro team who lost to them earlier in the season and comes back to play them again. And a very senior, and, with some senior leaders. Or you have Cedar Creek, who doesn't necessarily follow the script of the last couple of years in regular season dominance, but this team is very good, and they know how to play West Effort over the years. They played them tight, so that's another one I'm looking to. And Group 1 obviously is always fun, and wild, unexpected stuff happens there.
Good stuff as always, Mark. We appreciate it. Got to let you go, but we'll catch up with you next week and dive more into these semifinal games.
We'll talk beanies. We'll get it all straightened out, Sully. Thanks as always, man, and good luck.
Sounds good, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
That was Mark Trible of the Courier Post.